EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Get us started now, the kicker Chris Boswell, and off we go from Jacksonville. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone, and look at this, right away a loose football, and it's picked up by the Steelers, and he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. Well, how's that for an early storyline? Some people are asking the ushers where their seat is, and boom, we've got a score on the board, a fumble return on the opening kickoff.
And this is where all the tailgating groups are looking at each other saying, maybe we need to get to the stadium just a little bit earlier next time.
But, man, those bratwursts, they're good, Charles. They're good. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Hey, watch it!
They'll start on the ground, ETN. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Open man right side is Ingram. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. This is fielded at the 27. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Jones. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Chad Muma, and the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result. Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. Trying to improvise. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. He finds Pickens over the middle.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
The Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now Jones. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Jags grab it. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. A give to Etienne running right. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Lawrence. toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Alex Highsmith buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
After the sack on first down, Lawrence, he'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Got it.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Lawrence. This complete to Jones. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. Out is Carlson now for the Raider field goal. This will be a 34-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Off play action. Jones toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Jones. It's brought in by Harris. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the draw, it's Harris. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On the keeper, it's Jones. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Jags are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football, we're not seeing it right now.
Now ETN to start the drive.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
On play action, Lawrence. He'll get this off to ETN. On the move past the 40. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
And a nice call and really good execution there because they gave him a little bit of a different launch angle perhaps, you know. You don't want to have the quarterback dropping back 5 to 7 steps on every play and have the defense zero in on him. There you hope that you get your defense going one way. They sent him the other, and they picked up nice yardage with that completion.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Come on, catch. Hey, lock it. Another tote for ETN.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, Jones. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. 2 minutes to play in this first half, 7-3 our score. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Jones finds Pickens out right. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ballgame. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
Now, think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams. When a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Lawrence will throw.
Looking for right, and he finds him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And it's intercepted. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
5 yards remain on second down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Completes this one to Pickens.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now Jones on 3rd and 2.
Targeting Moore, and he's got him on the crossing pattern.
Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Back to throw again. He's going to air one out. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on it's the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. Boswell's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
From the 27, Jones. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Jones now on 1st and 10.
That's going to be caught by Pickens.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it second down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 44-yard line.
They'll run with Harris out of the shotgun. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
They'll try the right side with Harris. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 51 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Off play action. Jones. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points by the wayside on that one.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Jermaine Johnson credited with that sack.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
On the ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. Looking for the out route here, and it's completed to Kirk.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Hey, exit.
To throw again on second down. Lawrence looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Hey, point 7.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead, but that was a drive that was so long it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener. And they run with Harris off the option.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing Jones. He finds Austin complete.
And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw brought in by Austin. On the move past the 40. Down the right sideline.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Extra point now by Boswell. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now Lawrence. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Now Jones steps away. And this is incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action from Jacksonville.
Harris running straight ahead. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
10 yards on the touchdown pass.
And the Steelers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 24.
Steelers 27, Jaguars 3.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
At their own 18-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
From the shotgun, Lawrence.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
T.J. Watt, the All-Pro, in there to take him down.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Now Lawrence on 3rd and long.
Under pressure, and they got to him again.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 73 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 20-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage.
And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up.
While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Jaguars take over a first down 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here we go.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into Week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Lawrence. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 3rd down, Lawrence.
Complete to right. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before it's taken down. That's a 3rd down conversion to 24 yards there. Nice play.
Running out of the gun with ETN. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. And unable to connect on the long pass. He actually brings it in, but he was out of bounds, incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Lawrence hit and the ball is free.
And it's picked up by the Steelers.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Jones.
Got an open man. It's Pickens.
And he has the first down as he's able to reach the ball forward and get past the line to gain. A nice pickup there, 10 yards. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
And he's going to get this one down inside the 15.
93 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's the option.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. And let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. And they will take a knee here.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record, but everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Steelers, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.